Hello, welcome to a little reading vlog I am doing. I'm currently reading for Realmathon, and I thought I'd do a 48-hour readathon to see how many books I can read before I leave on a little trip. My sister's getting engaged this weekend. My brother is flying in to surprise her. We're going out to the coast. And it's going to be a really fun time, but it means I'm not going to be able to read during the gala weekend for Realmathon. So I thought I'd do a little 48-hour readathon to see how many small books I can fit in and how many books I can speed read before the weekend comes and I can't read for a few days, especially because my team was in last on the one update we've had so far, so we really got to get it moving. So it is just after 3 p.m. on Tuesday the 11th, and we're going to read. So I am starting with Blackwood's Blue Sky by Eowyn Ivey. I need to finish this one. So I'm going to be maybe reading a few chapters in this one and then bumping over to another short read. I have just 90 pages left. I'm in love with this book. It's so good. It's just such an intriguing story. I've never read anything like it, and it's so good. And I want to finish it today because it is a new release, so it needs to go back to the library tomorrow, I believe, because it has holds on it. And then my first short read I'm going to do is The Wood at Midwinter by Susanna Clarke. This is a very short story. There's not a lot of words on each page, and there's a lot of pictures and things. I have no idea what this is about, but I'm going to read this. This was going to be one of my gala weekend reads to get an extra 10 points, but I can still submit it and get plenty of points. Then I have some graphic novels. So I have the final 3 volumes of Tokyo Terror Rainbow Girls, which I do want to read. I have Garlic and Vampire and Garlic and Witch, which were one of the hosts had them as 5-star reads, so those will be really quick, and I want to read those. And I think I have a couple other shorter reads. I also have Acceptance and North Woods, which I have started but not finished. North Woods, I'm about a third of the way through. I have a couple hundred pages, 250. And then Acceptance, I have 160 pages. So because I have such few pages in this, I might try to read this one as well in the 48 hours and just see how far I can get. So I think maybe this will be my big read, and then I'll throw in small reads, the mangas, things like that. I'll finish this one first, and then we'll just see how many other things we can get to. And then if I'm feeling the need for a longer read, or if I run out of short things to read, I will work on North Woods, because this is one of my only books I have currently ongoing that I need to finish. That would kind of wipe my slate clean. I'm listening to Winter by Marissa Meyer, the last book in the Lunar Chronicles. I'm 45% of the way through it or so, so I'll keep listening to that throughout the weekend. Maybe I'll finish it and then start listening to Stars Above, which is the novella collection or story collection in that series, which is the final book. I could also start Beast by Matt Wesolowski, because this is 230 pages, but it reads very quickly. It has this podcast format, which reads very quickly, so this could also be an option. And I'm just going to see how many things I can get done. I'm not actually imagining that I'm reading all of this in 48 hours. I just want options to choose from, because sometimes I get a little tired of graphic novels, don't want to read them all the time, so I want to be giving myself plenty of options to choose from. So I'll probably update you when I finished a few things, and we'll see how much we can get done. I thought it'd be fun to kind of track my pages throughout these 48 hours. And I have an iced coffee fresh out of the fridge, so I'm gonna go get cozy and read. Hello, I'm here to give you an update. It's been about 24 hours, so it's been a while since I've actually updated, but I've been doing tons of reading. I got the majority of it done last night, and I'm going to be settling in to do some reading today. So, I started off yesterday with finishing Blackwood's Blue Sky. I already dropped it off at the library this morning, but I absolutely loved it. It was 5 stars. It was a fantastic read all the way through. Very surprising and just so much fun to read an Eowyn Ivey book that I loved again, because it's been so long since The Snow Child was published and I read it. And yeah, so it was fabulous. I would highly recommend it if you like sort of low fantasy set in the real world, especially if you like rural areas. It's set in rural Alaska, and it was a really good time. I read a little bit of Acceptance last night. Didn't get very far, but I'm going to be focusing on that somewhat today. And then I read Garlic and Witch and Garlic and Vampire, which is a cute little middle grade graphic novel series that was worth a lot of points for our team because there were plants on the cover. It was a non-human main character, not an urban setting, but there were some other things, like it was a host favorite. The titles had even number of letters. So there were just so many points that they were worth. These were super fast reads. I enjoyed Garlic and Vampire a little bit more. This was the first one, and it was all about anxiety and kind of overcoming your fear, and it was very cute. I enjoyed it. Very simple because it is middle grade. There's not a lot of words on the pages, and I just really liked it. The second one I enjoyed, but I think it was a little bit too simplistic, because the idea was that Garlic was changing in that book and she was afraid of change. And in the process of the story, she was supposed to be learning that change can be scary, but it's going to be okay. And I just thought the way that she sort of came around to that feeling of being okay was just a little bit simplistic for my tastes. So I liked it a little bit less, but it was still cute. If Brie Paulson wrote any more in that series, I would definitely read it. And then I read The Wood at Midwinter by Susanna Clarke, and this one was like a 60-page short story in that tiny little copy. It was just okay. I would say it was a highly forgettable read for me. It was beautifully written, but it didn't feel like it had a lot of substance. So I actually found myself really not caring what was happening. Apparently it's set in the world of Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, very tangentially. I don't think there's any characters. I think it's just the setting that's slightly referenced in Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. So it was fine. It took, 15 minutes or less to read. So it wasn't a big deal, but it wasn't great overall. And then last night and this morning, I read a volume of Tokyo Terroraba Girls. So I read volume 7 last night, volume 8 today, and really enjoyed them both. Sika's getting real close to the camera. I don't know if you can see those ears. Sika, do you just want to be in the front of the camera forever? Yeah. This is where she belongs, apparently, right in front of the camera. So both of the volumes are great. I have one volume left, and I'm very sad and also excited to be finishing it, but I'm sad that there won't be any more. Yeah, so both of the volumes were very fun to read. I'm enjoying the story. I think I know where it's going to go in the end, but I'm not sure. And so I'm sort of nervous about the ending. But it's a nice short graphic novel series. I know some graphic novel series can go on for like 30 plus volumes. So it's nice every once in a while to just have one that's like 9 volumes and then it's done. So I'm very excited to finish it off either tonight or tomorrow. And I've listened to a little bit of Winter by Marissa Meyer. That's my audiobook. Probably listen to a little bit more of it tonight. But this is my main focus for reading. And then the other volume of Tokyo Terroreba Girls. I have a couple assorted short books that I could get into if I wanted. But I'm kind of feeling like I've hit my fill of a bunch of short things. And it'd be nice to dive into something that's like, you know, I only have like 150 pages of this left. So while it's a bigger book in and of itself, there's a short amount left to read. So I'll probably focus on that a lot in the audiobook because I would like to make some progress on the audiobook because that one will be for big points when I'm done and ready to submit it. So things are going well. I have to apply for some jobs this evening. I'll hang out with my husband a little bit, but overall I don't have like a ton of things planned. I'm still recovering from the time zone change that we went through this past Sunday, and I feel like my sleep schedule has not shifted over yet. I've been sleeping in like 2 hours later than normal, so I'm like trying to work back to my normal schedule and things like that. Okay, I'm gonna go read a little bit, and I'll probably try to check in with you tonight. That way I don't check in with you like just twice throughout this whole thing. I'll try to check in with you in a little bit when I've read something else. Hello, it is the next day. I was not able to update you last night, but I did a little bit of reading. So I finished Tokyo Terroreba Girls. I liked the last volume. I didn't think it had as much like emotional impact as I like from a finale, but I thought it was sweet and it had a very nice message overall, which I think was really good because the manga is it can feel a little harsh towards women. It's kind of taking a look at women and being like, sometimes we're not the best. Sometimes we do really dumb things. Sometimes we, purposely do terrible things because we want something. And so it definitely like takes a hard look at women. And I feel like the last manga series was like celebrating women a little bit more and being like, despite all of the messiness and stuff, here are the things that are wonderful about women. So I thought it was really sweet. And then I read a teeny bit of Acceptance. This is going to be my focus for today. Just like 15 more pages, I think, is all I read. So I did that. I'm over the 50% mark in Winter, so that's good. I think I've listened to like 12% of it, which, considering it's like an 830 page book, not bad at all. And then this morning on my walk, it was maybe going to rain, so I needed like a mass market paperback I could shove in my pocket if it started raining. So I got The Complete Fairy Tales of Oscar Wilde. I think this is a really good one to read because it will meet a couple of my 2025 reading goals. I think overall it'll be pretty good for Realmathon as well. It's short. It's like 200 pages and I've already read 40. So we're like a fifth of the way through. Oscar Wilde's fairy tales are interesting. They're very melancholy. So even when they sort of have like a happy ending, they tend to be really sad. So they're not ones that I would say you want to like binge all at once. But like reading a couple of them on a walk and then moving on to something else, I think that's a great way to do it. So I'll be reading this one off and on. And then I have one more graphic novel that I want to read. I can't think of it. It's like The Firelight's Apprentice or something like that. It's another book by Bree Paulson, and I just kind of had the urge because I had it out from the library. I was like, I'll just read one more graphic novel and then focus on my physical reads and my audiobook. I don't think I have too many chores that need to get done right now, but I will in a little bit. So I'm going to mainly focus on reading the graphic novel, reading Acceptance, and then after lunch, I'll be doing a lot of audiobook because we're having a little one-shot D&D session with some of my husband's friends, and so I gotta get like the house ready. And I'm excited because I've played a teeny tiny bit of D&D before. I've basically done 2 starter sessions, and then we haven't been able to continue for a variety of reasons. So I'm excited to actually play like a full story and not just get the starter session and then stop. But I do have fun making characters, so I've gotten to make quite a few characters. So I'm very excited for that. So I'll need to do some chores. And the sun is out, so maybe a little walk a bit later because it has been dreary and rainy the past few days. And you gotta snag the sun when you see it in Oregon sometimes. Hello, wanted to do a quick check-in before lunch, but I just read The Firelight Apprentice by Brie Paulson. This is a slightly longer graphic novel of hers. She's the one that wrote Garlic and Vampire and Garlic and Witch. And this is about 2 sisters where the younger one is like a magician and the older one works in like a light bulb shop. That's like her family trade. And it was a really sweet story. I was surprised at how like deep the world felt with a graphic novel where you really don't have a lot of time. You know, this is only like 220 pages of a graphic novel. That's not a lot of time to like set up a world. Obviously, it's not like a Brandon Sanderson like Stormlight Archive book, but it had like its own feel to it. Everything felt very real. It was just very cute. It almost felt like Russian inspired in some ways. I'm not sure why. Maybe it was like the clothes and a little bit of the setting. And there's like magic, but there's also like airships and things like that. So it was really cute, a really fast read. I read it in probably like 20 minutes or something. And I'm going to go have lunch and keep reading. But yeah, that was awesome to get in. And it was so many points. It was like 50 points for Realmathon. So that was an amazing book to read for this one. The weather changed quite drastically in a very short amount of time. So now it's like nice, cozy, like I want to snuggle up with some hot cocoa and read kind of weather, which is kind of nice because that's what I'm going to be doing for the next couple hours. Okay, it is the next day and I needed to come back and wrap up this 48-hour reading vlog. I don't think I finished anything after I last updated you. I read The Firelight Apprentice, and then I just read a little bit of Acceptance. So in this, I'm on page 489 now out of like 570. So I'm less than 100, or I'm about 100 pages away from the end. So I read maybe like 60 over the time that I was doing this vlog. I had a really good time reading some short things. I'm kind of sad to be missing out on the gala weekend, but obviously I'm going to the coast to celebrate my sister and her now fiance. So it's definitely like a more fun thing that I'm going to do. I'm just sad that the gala happened to be this weekend. I don't think I'll be reading anything for the gala. I'm just going to be focused on reading as much as I can. I read so much over the 48 hours. I'm really hoping that that boosted our scores, and I hope you had a fun time coming along with me as I read graphic novels. I don't read a ton of graphic novels, especially this year. I'm focused on the books that I own, and I don't really buy many graphic novels, so it was kind of fun to just finish up a series, check out some new like short story graphic novel authors, and check a few things off of my list that I've been meaning to get to for a while. So thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching. And if you want to know how Realmathon turns out, you can keep an eye out for my Realmathon vlog, which will probably be posted like at the beginning of April once we know like who won and everything. So keep your eyes peeled for that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.